Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. And guess who's 5 days post-op? Girl, I went and got that BBL. Let me tell you how it went down though, because it was not an easy process, okay? If you watched the previous video, I know you guys seen how very visibly upset I was about how APS handled the situation with Simmons losing his license and not calling me. But in their defense, they did say they had just found out the information earlier that morning when they were starting to call patients or whatever. But let me just walk you through about everything that happened in Miami. Girl, it was crazy. So I told y'all I had been off the Facebook vlogs because it was stressing me out. Everything that I was reading, it was stressing me out. Nothing about Simmons. Like I said, I knew Simmons had a death. I did know that. I know. I heard the lady was older. She had been turned down from different doctors, and Simmons decided to take her. She was supposed to have a tummy tuck, but Simmons said he was going to give her a BBL because that's what she wanted. She ended up dying from a fat embolism, which is when they place the fat wrong, and it causes a blood clot to either go to her brain or her heart. Not sure which one she died from, but it's not good. And RIP to baby girl. But like I said, I didn't find out that he got his license taken away until the day before pre-op. Mind you, I have my children down here with me. I'm at my mother-in-law's house, and they're helping me with the kids, and my mother-in-law's gonna help me after surgery. So I'm like, I'm down here, I've already paid for the Airbnb, and I'm finding this out the day before pre-op. So I'll call them, I'm like, what's going on? Like, I see on the vlogs that they're saying that Simmons got his license taken away and he can't do BBLs. He can do lipo, but he can't do BBLs. I'm like, what's going on? They're like, oh, we just found out. We're so sorry. We were just looking at your pictures, and we feel like Dr. Reyes is a good candidate. And they were like, they weren't sure why I was so adamant about Simmons when Simmons usually works with bigger women. And y'all know I've been saying I want a small waist, I want hips, I want ass, and that's why I was gaining so much weight. I told the lady, the pictures that I sent you, I was like 165, and I let them know that I wanted to gain weight so that they would have enough fat. I said, I'm now 188, so I'm bigger than that now. I said, can Reyes do, what I'm asking for? Because I want a big BBL. And they're like, yeah. A lot of the women here, they've gotten work done by him. Not work, but just like BBLs done by him, and they look great, and you have a great foundation. Now, I'm not stupid. I know that they could be paid to say anything. And I was so emotional. I was like crying on the phone. I'm like, I'm not sure if I wanted to go ahead and get my money back. I'm not sure if this is a sign. And then once the family found out that, that the doctor that I was supposed to go to got his license revoked, they were like, that is a sign, don't do it. And they were, talking to Mama Ruth saying, don't help her do this, like, don't do it. And I'm like stressed, like, I can't go back to Texas with this ass and this beer belly. Are y'all crazy? No. I don't want to die, but no. So I agreed to go ahead and come in for pre-op. And that's when they just take your blood pressure, and they tell you what you're going to be doing for surgery. And the thing is, Simmons was supposed to do my surgery on Saturday. He was the only surgeon that was doing weekend surgeries because they could only do 3 BBLs a day. So Dr. Reyes, he doesn't do weekend surgery. So I had pre-op Friday and was supposed to have my surgery done on Monday. So I had 2 extra days after pre-op, and they also gave me money back for the inconvenience, whatever. They were very nice. My blood pressure was a little high during pre-op, but they understood because it was like I'm going through so much. My nerves was on 10 with Simmons getting his license revoked and family and friends being concerned about my well-being. So, which is understandable, and I just wanted to make the right decision. And I knew I had prepared. I did my research on this doctor. He was triple certified. He had been doing BBLs for 20 plus years. Oh, that really hurt my heart, Anyway, so I'm like, who is this man? Who's Dr. Reyes? And they were like, well, you have a good foundation. It's not going to be hard to mess you up. You have, and I'm like, I don't want to hear that. That's not who I was doing research on. Like, I need to see some of his work. So they sent me some of his work, and I liked it. Small waist, hips, butt, looked nice, looked natural, but not as natural as some of these Houston plastic surgeons were doing. I don't like that. And so I was like, okay. So I had to wait the whole weekend. Hearing, don't do it. My husband's calling me saying don't do it. Because mind you, he wasn't here with me. It was me and my children. The Monday comes around. I'm like, Mama Ruth, we're going to do this. We're going to pray. I've done everything on my end to make sure my body heals the way it needs to. I'm going to follow whatever the doctor tells me to do. And we're going to have to do this. Because I know I only have a certain amount of time to get well. Because I had to take care of my children. My husband is a truck driver. Mama Ruth is only here for a few days, and then she's going back home. And I appreciate everything she has done, because it has not been easy. It's a beautiful soul woman, I swear. Has a beautiful heart. Anyways, and so the day I get there, I had my gown on. They got put my Ted hose on. Had my robe on, and I get to meet the doctor. I'm like, hey, how you doing? I'm looking crazy. I didn't even film none of that because I'm telling you, my nerves are shot. Had my glasses on, I had that. I'm looking like a kitchen lady. So I'm like, he's like, hey, how you doing? Oh, you here for a BBL? I'm like, yeah. I said, I want a big BBL. I want you to suck all the fat because, I want hips and I want butt. He's like, oh, you don't want to look crazy. I said, well, mind you, I know 30 to 40% of this weight this fat is going to die. Now, please believe I'm going to feed the fat. But I want you to go as big as possible because I know it's going to die. And I don't want to be one of them people mad and I'm vlogging to my YouTube channel saying, hey, Dr. Reyes did not listen to me. And I'm telling him this, that you didn't listen to me and I'm not happy. And we already know that you're not the doctor that I picked. I wanted Simmons and I really wanted Cannon. We already know what happened with that. So it's like, I'll give you what you want. So he's standing there and he, showing me what he gonna do. He gonna fill in my hip dips. And I'm telling him I want hips. I want hips now. I want a flex. I would need to be snatched, And he was nice. We talked about nip tuck, and that is like my show. He knew what nip tuck was. He likes nip tuck. He had like a Spanish accent. He's a Spanish guy. He was nice. He just was kind of serious. He wasn't joking around like I would think Triggs or Cannon them would be. Because, we see them on Instagram and stuff playing. He was very serious. He said he don't do all that, internet stuff. He's an old school surgeon, been doing it 30 plus years. And I only found a few videos on YouTube of girls vlogging what he did. And one of them was like my height, tall, slender girl. But I do know it also depends on the maintenance after. So I was fine. It seemed like he kind of wanted to argue with me about how big I wanted my ass. Don't argue with me because I do not want to feel like you didn't do anything. I don't. I'm not trying to like no tooth, but if you do your research, you know that when they put that fat and that fat dies, it's inevitable. Some of it's gonna die. I don't want to be upset because I feel like you didn't do anything. Anyway, so I was arguing with him about that, and he said, okay, you're gonna do what he can. You're gonna do what I asked you to do. I ain't gaining this weight for nothing. Anyway, so we left. I signed a bunch of papers and we left. And then they called me like 10. And the thing was, I was going to go to the restroom because I was getting nervous. I probably needed to poop because I was like, ooh, my stomach getting kind of jittery. Ooh, I need to go poop. So anyways, I'm walking to the back trying to figure out where the restroom was. And this man was like, hey, it's your turn. I said, it's my turn. Oh, it's time. Girl, I'm getting on that bed. That little bed thing is a little stretcher. And he's like, let me see your arms. So I give him my arm. And then I give her my other arm, the nurse my other arm, and they did my blood pressure on this arm, and they put the anesthesia in my arm. And later I'm like, what is it? I'm looking up at the light, and I'm like, oh, you just giving me fluid? What are you doing? He's like, I'm getting ready to start the anesthesia. And I'm like, oh, I remember. I heard about this. And like my eyesight just went out. I was like, ah! I'm out. Woke up on my booty. And I'm like, hello, somebody help me. I need to roll over. Y'all gonna mess with my results. While I'm on my butt, I need you to put you on my stomach. So they came in there and they was like, well, just roll over. And baby, I rolled over because guess what? I got that arm strength. Don't play with me. I got that arm strength because I work at the hospital and rolling those patients and pushing them beds. And, we're just working at the hospital in general, just using a lot of your upper arm strength. Baby, I was pushing. And man, it was not that easy. Because that lipo, and I told him, I remember distinctively saying, aggressive lipo. I'll give it to me. Because I want that waist snatched. Because I've always had a small waist before I had children. So he snatched. It was aggressive. So for the most part, so I'm like, oh, it was cold, but I thought my throat was gonna be hurting. My throat was not hurting. It was not sore. My face wasn't swollen. I was like, did y'all do anything? And when I turned around, I was like, oh, I'm kind of sore. And I looked and I was like, faja. I was like, I have made it. I've made it. I got my faja on. I got my tent hose on. Yes, because I went to bed without that. I mean, they laid me down without that. All I had on was my robe and like this little, no, I didn't even have my robe on. I just had this little chuck on. They put my faja on when I was sleeping. And then I had transportation take me. They have Miami transporters you could pay to take you. And they took me to drop off my medication. I thought they were gonna fax over my medication to Walgreens, but no, I had to go get the medication. And they were ready in like two hours. And then they brought me back to my hotel. Girl, and then the transporters tried to get me to walk to the hotel. And the hotel I was like floor number 4. So I got off the gurney trying to walk and I felt so lightheaded. I had to lay on the floor. I was like, how the fuck y'all gonna let me walk? So they got a wheelchair and wheeled me to the room. And my kids was like, my kids was asleep. The Dream was up. My other kid, my oldest child was up. He was like, Mama, you okay? I'm like, I'm fine. He was like, what happened to your booty? I was like, I'm fine. I'm gonna try to insert some pictures of me just laying down. They didn't take pictures of me walking. And plus my breasts were out. They gave me the faja without the breast. So it was just, the breasts are out and then, that type of faja. And I just laid down and I was talking. I was my same self. And my mother-in-law was very excited about me, being up and waking up. And I was excited. I was thanking God, like, thank you, Jesus. I need to go back to my children. And so I can't complain about the experience. I cannot, she's talking. Look at her. You hear that Jamaican accent? She's fussing. But I cannot complain. So I will show y'all some of my results. Because I'm in my faja right now with this. Maybe I'll take the faja off and put on a dress so you can just see. Okay, that's me and my faja. This is me and my faja. And I will take it off and put on like some clothes so y'all can see what it's looking like. Okay, this is me outside of my faja. Oh, I'm so stiff. I've been walking. I'm still a little swollen. But baby, I can't complain. Look at that thing. Y'all see that ass thing? Oh, I need my man to see me. He mad at me right now, but hopefully he get over it. See, he gave me some hips. I have incisions under my breast. And here and here, but I can't complain. Reyes did his thing. Walking is so important, and like I said, you should do the Hims gummies on Amazon, and the pre-op vitamins. It helps so much. Okay. I'll talk to y'all later. I'm gonna put back on my faja.